Welcome to Vibrational Revelations. My name is Elena.
My name is Alejandro.
For many years, Alejandro and I have been revealing vibrational frequencies of thousands of people around the world, historical, political figures, sacred sites, you name it, we've done it. Mm-hmm. It's brought a lot of clarity into what is happening underneath the noise of especially what is being projected out through the media. Today, we wanted to bring you more clarity through the revelations that we have done. Of course, we have revealed in the Vibrational Revelations private platform vibrational frequencies of the collective consciousness of Israel and the collective consciousness of Palestine, including world leaders and the leaders for those two regions. This is an invitation for you all to join the community and join the live discussions that we hold on a weekly basis. But today, the conversation is going to shape around what is really happening in the Middle East. And October 7th in the morning, I got a call from a friend, actually a text message from a friend, and she said something is really wrong energetically. So immediately Alejandro and I went to test the vibrational frequencies of the day of October 7th. And as I have revealed earlier on YouTube and also social media, the frequency of the event that occurred on October 7th was a frequency of 10. For those of you that are not familiar at all with the work that we do, we use scalar wave technology to measure what is happening from a frequency perspective. In every situation, for every person, there is a way that that could be measured and reveal what is truly happening under the noise, as I said earlier, of what is really going on. So we also tested to see what happened that day as far as how it impacted the human collective and how it impacted, we looked at human collective, human energy field and human body. And
also the soul gate.
Yes.
And this is a very important factor, yes.
So just to briefly explain to you what soul gate is and why it is so important. There's two gates of entry into our being. There is a physical gate of entry. For example, you'll have an injury. There's something physically going on with you. That's a physical gate. Soul gate is meant to be sealed, and it's meant to be between you and your higher self. Nothing else is supposed to interfere within the soul gate. Collectively, on October 7th, soul gate has been breached for every human being on this planet at 28%. So this is collectively. For some people, it could be more. For others, it could be less. But overall, collectively, it was 28%. Then 5 days later, October 12th, we measured again what is happening from a frequency perspective and the human collective. And again, that day's event, October 12th, was a frequency of 20. We're talking on a scale of 0 to 1,000. 20, and the frequency of 10 is frequencies of destruction, okay? That day, the soul gate was hijacked or breached again at 38%. And then October 18th, we measured it again, and the collective was impacted that day on October 18th at the frequency of 20, and soul gate again was breached at 41%. So immediately we started thinking, what does it mean when your soul gate is breached? And what does it mean when it's breached collectively? And when a low frequency is being inserted into the human collective?
Yes, I mean, we know the consequences of having your soul gate hijacked, right? But we wanted to go deeper to understand the whole picture and to what extent this is actually being reflected in our actions,
yes,
collectively, right?
So, for example, what we're dealing with at this point is hijacking of our souls. We're being hijacked through social media. Of course, that's one of the extent. And also, it's very interesting to see right now that when a soul gate is breached collectively, you're seeing people around the world right now going and marching on the streets and on social media, and it's exactly the same narrative all around the world, even those that are not even related to the region. It's almost like there's a computer program that has been turned on in the matrix, and everyone is a robot repeating the same thing. Whether you look on social media posts, videos, overall global media, what they're showing, it's like everyone disconnected from what truly happened on October 7th. And this absolute viciousness and hate is being entertained and expanded. And
yes. And the event that took place on October 7th, it was horrendous. We all know about it. And what is taking place also in the Middle East, and as a consequence of the retaliation of Israel, is also horrendous, right? We don't support the loss of any life. We're for life. But it's very evident that most people are repeating the same narrative without really taking the time to dive deeper and try to understand the root of it all. They use facts. They think they're facts. They're not facts. And they think they satisfy, give them enough reason to go and support a terrorist group, in this case, Hamas, right? And from a frequency perspective, it's very obvious and clear where this group stands.
Eradication of any group of people
yes,
is unacceptable.
Exactly. They're against life. Anyone that doesn't comply with what they stand for, anyone that doesn't believe in what they believe is definitely against them, and they're against everyone else. So this is really just the beginning, and blindly, because of the programming, because of the hijacking, is intensifying all these unprocessed emotions, is intensifying the hate, the grief, the guilt, the fear, and it is focusing it or channeling it towards one party. And it's not one party. I mean, we'll all have contributed one way or another. Every time you feel anger, you are contributing to
or hate
towards another human being. You are contributing
with that
to
frequency.
increase and to intensify that information in the field, right? So
let's talk about what does it mean when your soul gate is breached. I just want you guys to begin to understand, those of you that are open, to understand that we are right now at frequency war, where there is a frequency war that is unleashed. This beast has been unleashed. How to know that you have fallen into the trap of allowing your soul gate to be hijacked and breached, because you can seal it at any time. So here are some of the examples of your soul gate is breached if you're entertaining hate towards any group of people. Your soul gate is breached.
Yes. And now it takes awareness, of course, in order to seal it, right? It takes awareness. And the issue is that most people are blinded, and they're stuck with one narrative, and they don't even realize how much they are activating the emotions of fear, anger, shame, and guilt.
And this is the difference.
Hate,
yeah, right? It's between victim consciousness, which is what is it being expanded at the moment globally, victim consciousness, expanding it, bathing in it, or being in the activation consciousness, where you're seeing from a higher perspective. You're seeing it through a bird's eye view versus saying it's this versus that, and also not acknowledging the absolute horror that has occurred on October 7th.
Yes, because nothing justifies what is taking place. Nothing justifies bathing in hate or hating another human being. Nothing justifies wanting to eradicate a whole race, or nothing justifies wanting to kill all Jewish people on this planet. Nothing justifies wanting to get rid of all infidels on this planet. Nothing justifies. Even if you were aware that your soul gate has been breached, it's your responsibility to gain enough awareness to seal it. And you have to pay attention to your thoughts. You have to pay attention to what emotions are being activated with your thoughts. And you have to pay attention as of when you are having an interaction with another human being and you're exchanging ideas or information. Are you really listening to what the other person is sharing and saying? Are you really listening to what you're saying? Because we have been witnessing this very often from all walks of life, actually, in throughout the world.
Yeah, it's like a program has been running.
Yes, people that just repeat the same thing, and it has a charge of hate and anger in it, and they're not hearing the other person. They're not willing to meet in the middle, and that is definitely a clear sign of being hijacked. There's no doubt about it, right? Sometimes they forget that they are. That they have a person in front of them, standing in front of them. It's like they're speaking to themselves. They're trying to convince themselves. And let's be very clear about this, that when you own and embrace that which you believe in, and it is in alignment with your inner being, there's no need to convince anyone. You're not going to be activating anger and hate towards another person because they don't believe in what you believe in. And I feel that is the key of this situation. That is the key of what is the chaos that is taking place worldwide. Is that we don't understand that if we feel the need to kill someone just because they don't agree with us, just because they don't believe in what we believe in, that is a serious problem. We're just being blinded by anger. And there's no way we're going to be able to reach and find a solution. And there's not going to be a resolution until we all come together and we understand that we have different opinions, different perspectives. We're all experiencing different frequencies. Therefore, even if we're having the same experience, we're feeling it differently. We're processing it differently. We don't have to all think the same and experience it the same. But we all have to understand that if we are activating anger and hate because someone doesn't believe or understand what we're saying, that is on you. That is your responsibility. And that means very clearly that you don't own your truth fully. That means very clearly that it's only a belief system. And it is not the ultimate truth that we're all seeking. That which is in alignment with God's energy. That which is in alignment with your inner being. So that is a clear sign that we're just repeating things because this is the new trend. Because it seems like people are gaining followers, or because those that have a lot of a huge following, they might be saying the truth. That is obvious that is not the case. So pay attention to what you listen to, pay attention to what you say, and pay attention to what you feel when you say what you say, when you listen to what you listen to. Because it is impacting not only your energy field, it is impacting your frequency, but it's also impacting the human collective's level of consciousness. And it is definitely slowing down the process of transcending into a higher level of consciousness. So and I know that all of us, one way or another, with our own style, we all want to experience a higher level of consciousness. We all want to experience more freedom, more joy, and more expansion in our lives, because those are the three reasons why we're all here. But just know that if we're activating anger and hate, for whatever reason, we're not doing anyone a favor. You're not doing a favor to yourself, and you're not doing a favor to the human collective. So pay attention to the way you express your ideas.
And there is no excuse for hate or any justification for the horror that took place October 7th.
Because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It's the same thing as Holocaust denial. I'm like, how could this even be real?
I mean, I totally understand. We suffer, every day when something new comes to us about loss of life on anywhere. But it doesn't make any sense that the people were celebrating.
Going on the streets and celebrating.
Wow. What took place in Israel on October 7th.
It just shows that you literally are a computer program. You're not a human being. You're hijacked by frequencies, and you gave away your free will, which you're here to exercise. By supporting murders, you're no longer a human being. And that's really what we're seeing globally that is happening. There is a frequency war that is hijacking people. So it's your responsibility to wake up. The numbers showed exactly what is. And there's no justification for people to be asleep.
Yes. And then there were, most people were not supportive of what happened. They were actually celebrating, right? But then days later, when Israel retaliated, then they were so upset and mad and sharing and this is unfair and this is not right. We agree with you. We don't want any innocent lives to be lost. We don't want any lives to be lost. Even the guilty ones, right? We didn't give them the life. I don't think we have the right to just take it away. Definitely. But one thing is for sure that that group, terrorist group, based on the frequencies that we have revealed in our episode, it's very clear that they just cannot.
They're against life, period.
They're against life. It's very clear that they stated, so it's not an opinion, right? It's not our opinion.
But from a frequency perspective.
It's a fact based on what they have shared, what their motives are, what their intention is. And from a frequency perspective, it matches exactly what their ideology is. So we cannot expect a group of people with those frequencies to understand
people with higher levels of consciousness.
With higher levels of consciousness or higher frequencies. It's impossible. Those with higher levels of consciousness or higher frequencies have the lower frequencies within them. So the top has the bottom in them, but the top doesn't have the bottom doesn't have what the top has. so they cannot see.
Because they haven't done the work.
Right.
They're literally living a program. So if you're supporting low frequency things around the world, you are no longer you. Mm-hmm. And this is really what we're trying to share with the world is wake up. Your soul is under attack.
Yes, we don't want to have one group against another group, because this is
global.
The purpose of our message.
Yes.
It is just sharing the facts and the people ignore some facts and they are attached to one narrative that have been popularized.
It's like parrots repeating the same
thing. And weaponized as well. Yes. The narrative has been weaponized, and it is actually working against you. You know, I said this yesterday, that most of us want to root or cheer for the underdog, right? Because somewhat we have that within us, that we want to be the champions, and we want those that have the courage and the ability of doing it. They're just not convinced that they have the ability of achieving it, but they're trying. We want to root for them. We want to cheer for them. We want to make sure that they realize their capabilities and they make it happen. They become champions. So we often cheer for the underdog. In this case, yes, it's obvious that the underdog is Hamas, the terrorist group, and everyone else that supports the terrorist group. I feel, by logic, they are terrorists as well, if they're supporting a terrorist group. But they are the underdog in comparison to Israel. But this is the one exception to the rule, that you definitely do not want to support the underdog, because you do not want the underdog to succeed. You don't want the underdog to be the champion, because if that happens, this chaos that we have witnessed so far, since this whole thing has started, since this group has started inflicting terror everywhere, mm-hmm. Not only in the Middle East, but everywhere in Europe as well, and Latin America too, is going to spread like dynamite. It's gonna get much worse if we support and keep feeding the monster that is filled with anger, hate, fear, and that wants to eliminate anyone that doesn't agree with its agenda. And that is a fact. It has happened before. We have seen it before. We have witnessed some of them live, others through documentaries, movies, and books, and the stories from people that are still alive from the Holocaust.
But you know what? It goes back to the biblical times, actually. Mm-hmm. The story of Noah's Ark.
Yes.
And the two brothers, one was for destruction, absolute carnage and destruction, the most despicable, darkest things human beings can do. And the other ones who stood in and believed in life. This is the difference. Mm-hmm. Supporting life or supporting the darkest, evilest thing that exists on this planet. And humanity is capable of transcending the darkness. Yes,
with the pretense of oh no, for them, because mm-hmm. they're weak and they're not well equipped to fight this war. Mm-hmm. When it comes to Hamas, or the terrorists, and those that support the terrorists. But that is actually a double-edged sword that is not going to help find a resolution for this situation. It's only going to prolong and make the chaos much worse. And if we contribute to that, we're doing it to ourselves, with the pretense of trying to support the weak. You know, the
victim consciousness, the victim consciousness. Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not saying that there are no victims. So there's one thing about being a victim, and another thing is to being in the victimization level of consciousness.
Expanding on the trauma.
Yes, and spreading it and inflicting it. and using it as an excuse to force others to comply, to force others to agree with their narrative.
This whole month since October 7th happened, I've been holding daily free meditations for anyone who wanted to join, and still do, to raise the consciousness, to be clear about who we are, send the light to that region. And this is what at least we've been doing in our community. A week ago, I also hosted a free class on recognizing limiting beliefs. And it was called Birthing the New You. This is a great opportunity for every single human being on this planet right now to reevaluate your belief systems and what thoughts you're entertaining and what emotions you're expanding on, because all of it contributes, as Alejandro said, to the human collective consciousness. This is the Maharishi effect. You can have a positive impact by contributing with high frequency and light to the collective, or you can be expanding on the negativity, expanding on the hate and your limiting beliefs, and contributing to lowering the human collective consciousness.
That is really the best way we can contribute for the betterment of humanity. That is the best way, without going anywhere. Just sitting where you are, just with your thoughts, you're contributing to the betterment of humanity.
The thoughts that you entertain matter, and the words that you speak are manifestations of the thoughts. And we create this reality, this world, with our thoughts, the words we speak, and the actions we take. So take good care of yourself. Please be mindful of what you're entertaining and what you are supporting.
Yes. Curiosity is extremely important, right? Contributes to our expansion. But just pay attention, because if the information that you're receiving is feeding the monster of anger and hate, then it's definitely not doing you any good.
Or anyone else around
you. Might feel validated because of your traumas, because of your unprocessed emotions. They will have our own share. No one is exempt. Even Dr. Gabor Mate himself is not exempt. But we must take full responsibility and know that it doesn't end with you. It doesn't end with us. It continues endlessly and impacts everyone. So it is extremely important to pay attention to the way you feel, and to stay away from the things that activate those unwanted emotions.
I did want to say, I forgot to mention that collectively, human collective right now is at the frequency of 100, which I did share in the Instagram video. So our collective frequency has dropped. So now more than ever, it's extremely important that you shift out of the anger, fear, worry, and begin to work on yourself to contribute to the human collective consciousness and support life on this planet.
Yes.
So thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you in our Vibrational Revelations private membership community, where we have been revealing frequencies of public, political, historical figures, books,
yes, and
so much more.
Thousands of people as well. We do it on a one-on-one via Zoom. We reveal their vibrational frequency analysis, and we measure over 36 categories. Right. We also do the lifetime vibrational frequency analysis.
This is like your life review, basically.
Life review, yes, exactly. So you can gain a deeper understanding of where you've been and how is it you were able to overcome different stages in your life where you were in the pit in a way, or you were experiencing very low frequencies, and to gain more awareness and accelerate the growth process. So it is really important to understand yourself, because by doing that, you can understand the world a lot better.
Thank you so much. Until next time.
Thank you.